What's up, world? It's your girl Karma Ye, and we are back with another episode of Culture and Soul. And this time it's a little different. We talked about an intro. We talked about how we're going to kick it off because it's been so long. But there's no need for all of that because it's bigger. It's bigger than all the fancy setup. It's bigger than all of the staging and the practicing. It's about a message that needs to be given organically. It's about a call to action for our community. And I can't be in control of that. So that's how we're going to kick it off. And to my left, I have my good sis, Lady A, Adrian.
Hey,
She's checking us out today. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. A lot of y'all may know her as Little Miss Jersey, Little Miss New Jersey, Lady A, Adrian B. She was a media coordinator, has been promoted to media consultant.
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell the people about yourself?
What's going on, y'all? It's Adrian B, Little Miss Jersey, back at it again today with the Culture and Soul podcast. My good sis Karma has called me and she was like, girl, we got to talk. We got to chat. We got to catch up because as you've seen before, we've done our podcast and we've held our conversations on
What's
Instagram
Up Wednesday?
Live, on What's Up Wednesday, and just, reconnecting ourselves and just getting to know each other personally.
Yes.
But now we are back and we're better, like my good sis said. And
Back and I'm better.
Yes. My name is Adrian B. I am a media consultant. Some of the things you may catch me doing around Jersey. Sorry, y'all. I was going to say journalist, but it's Jersey.
She does that too, though.
I'm a writer. I am a host. I am an event planner. I represent multiple Black publications from North to South Jersey, Black studios, Black creatives. Speaking about community, I train journalists to write so that they could become better within their craft. And yeah, just having a good time doing all of those things and maybe some new things in the midst of that, right?
Let's go.
Yeah, so if you ever see me, don't feel afraid to say hey. Just don't get a little creepy, all right? It's 2025. People is weird.
Crazy. And outside of that, I do want to say she mentioned personal journey, getting to know each other personal. And over the course of these past, has it been a year, 2 years? Going on 2?
Since when?
Since like meeting at that town hall, how we met, first of all. We'll get into that in just a moment. How long? It's been about in the physical.
4 years.
Oh my God. You see, and that is another reason why we're here, because time is just flying.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The point being, outside of getting to know her professionally, she has been sis. And outside of all the professional credentials and things that we could put on our resume, she is a prayer warrior. She is a wordsmith.
Yeah.
She is a healer. Okay. She is just somebody that's going to keep you.
Yeah.
She's going to hold that space. She's going to check in and she's going to keep it accountable. So I'm just grateful to be able to share this space and this platform to let you channel that wisdom, how you channel that wisdom, and give a message to the collective, because that's what it's all about.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Okay.
So what's new?
So what's the new? First of all, you just had a birthday not too long ago.
Yeah.
And you did some incredible things, because I was on your page lurking, horseback riding, time with family, friends, cruises, everything like that. What did that do for your soul? Where are you at 27?
Oh man, 27. Okay, so year 26 brought me to a place where I realized that my inner child was calling me to be herself. But I no longer was that child who was limited to restrictions. And so at the age of 27 now, I am rediscovering myself and who I am in adulting and in adulthood. And so what that did for me ultimately was just walking into this newness and understanding that a lot of the aspects that I've known about myself are now mature and changing, and that some of those things are also going to manifest and look a little bit different. So that's why I stepped out on faith again, because 4 years ago I did that and it led me to where I am today.
That's crazy.
And so every 4 years I find myself in the same capacity where I'm going back to God and I'm like, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here at this point in life and you've been leading me thus far. So continue to take me and use me as you need. And so this birthday, me being an earth sign, yes, I am a Virgo. Virgo energy in here.
Ew.
I just wanted to be in nature. And one of the things that I loved doing growing up was horseback riding and traveling. You know, my parents are older, so they took my brother and I on a lot of trips, and that was what made our hearts happy, was being in nature and traveling and seeing the world, what God created. So it's been fun. That's what that did for me, was, you know, give me a clairvoyance that I've never had before and a deep sense of belonging with my younger child. So
I love that. And the fact that you said clairvoyance just shows how clairvoyant you are, because when you mentioned your brother, I was going to ask, that's your twin, correct?
Yes.
So I was going to ask about that mental connection and any experience with those synchronicities and clairvoyancy. And you just, because the information is just informationing,
yes,
you know, that signal, you're already on it. Can you share an experience, or not even just an experience? What has that been like for you, having a twin, that mental connection, and just how it applies in life?
It's a feeling that, you know, I would love for everyone to experience. And I know a lot of people wish that they've had a twin, and I've been, you know, blessed to have one. That experience for me has been a blessing, not to sound repetitive or anything like that, but my brothers, my twin brother specifically, well, both of my brothers, I have two brothers, but my twin brother, that relationship and that connection is amazing. You know, I think that he is a reminder that there is a God to me, because the way that we connect, he's literally my twin in every capacity. I started noticing this when we went to college, and he went to Rutgers, New Brunswick, and I went to Montclair. And, you know, my first time going to visit him, after he pledged Sigma, I was meeting some of his line brothers and some of his frat, and I'm usually the extroverted one, and my twin is usually the introverted one. He only acts like his crackhead self when he's around me. Okay. So, as I'm going and walking in my light, his friends are like, yo, you sound just like Dell. And I'm like, just like Dell? That's me. What you talking about? You know, this is me. Like, my
twin
energy.
Now. Twin, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not until that other people like, share their light and some of the things that they're seeing that I recognize how close we are. But I'll say something and he's already thought about it. He could be in the same places in life and we'll share consistencies without knowing it until we catch up. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. So. Very interesting. And that is a beautiful type of connection to have. That telepathic, unplanned is just the flow of connection.
Yep.
And we can't really explain it in like our terminology of what is happening there. But there has been times outside of that twin relationship, there are times where even me and Adrian, and we are not twins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not in the physical or in the biological way. However, there are days where we will be on the same type of time, or we'll be speaking about different situations, but be talking about in the same arena, hitting on the head what we need to hear through those conversations. So just to know that there is awareness around that clairvoyancy and that type of connection in, you know, twins, whether paternal, fraternal, is possible. And the fact that it reflects and it shows, but your awareness of it has started at such a young age because you are a twin. Some people don't have those experiences and they just chalk it up to coincidences, but there is science there.
Yeah, there is science, and there's a lot of faith there too.
Faith, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of spiritual,
yes.
A lot of spirituality, because before me was my parents, before my parents was my great grandparents, and I'm sure it was the same for your lineage, because you share that same capacity of understanding that I have. And I explain that to my parents all the time. Like, since I was a child, they always used to ask me, like, how do you have older friends? Like, you're in kindergarten knowing the fourth graders. And I'm like, I don't know, they're just my friends.
Right.
Like, you know, people look at me as such a social butterfly, and I think that it's been God-given that, you know, I'm just surrounded by people that I actually am yoked with, and you're one of them.
Yes.
And so I feel like that's the reason why we share so much sisterly love, is because we've clicked since day one. Since day one,
been
I saw
empowering
Karma.
Me since day one. Can we talk about that?
Yes.
We went to, shout out to Charles J.
Yes.
There was I think it was their second store, their second venue. They were down in Blackwood or Turner. It was Turnersville. Avenue Black. And they were holding a community meeting, a town hall meeting for the community creatives. And this is where I met Adrian. I showed up with my friend Kashawn, Oso Diva. Shout out to Oso Diva. Okay. We went around the room. Beautiful. That's where I met 10 Stacks. That's my bro. Been locked in ever since. Mr. Blakely, Fonz TV. He was not there, but I met them through them. It was that was a beautiful space to be in. I hope to see more in the future, if not from Charles J. Maybe from us. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. But that moment, we were going around the room and all the creatives were sharing their experiences and their background and where they came from. It came to me. And this is before all the podcasting and all of this. So I wasn't confident in that space. Even though I had something to say, my voice was shaking and da-da-da. And I'm like, can y'all come back to me? And everybody went on. But at the end, I'm like, okay, I'm clear. I'm not going to little Miss Adrian stand up and say, we ain't hear from Miss Carmen. We ain't hear from Anna. And I'm like, oh shit. And then Kashawn starts. And then I still speak. And in that moment, I'm like, she sees me. And then we connected after that. And it's just been like uphill, like in a positive way, spiraling up since then.
Literally.
And not all positive, because we have our life experiences and we go through things and we've shared our experiences. When you talk about being a light or being a social butterfly, in me knowing you in real life and knowing the importance of that solitude and those boundaries that need to be put in place so that you can maintain that light. What does that look like for you?
Man, that is a heavy question because I'm still figuring it out, y'all. Like, I don't know everything. When people see me, they be like, oh, you think you know everything. Who you think you are? And I be like, hold on, I'm 4'11" and feisty. Don't get it twisted.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do not, I have some experience. I'm not going to invalidate myself.
That's right.
So what that looks like for me is, yes, even though I speak to a lot of people and it may look like I know a lot of people, right? I don't know exactly where that's come from or what that's like for me, but I do know that there is a balance and a harmony in life. So while people see me talking to everybody and knowing everybody, there are a lot of moments when they're not seeing me that I'm by myself and I'm just wanting to be silent and I don't want to talk to anybody. And if I do speak to people or, selected folks, it's those people that really see me as I've seen them. And the reason why I'm able to see people in that capacity is, some people need that rejuvenation and then others are able to do that for you.
That reciprocal. Yes. Yeah.
But overall, I feel like this is just something that happens naturally for me. So in regards to your question of what that looks like for me is I'm taking time. Like I'm just living my life. If I feel compelled to call to speak or call to somebody, I will. I'm not one of those awkward people that's just gonna make eye contact with you and be like, have you wondering, why she looking at me? What's going on? No, I'm gonna tell you, your smile is beautiful.
Love that.
You have a light about you that needs to be seen. If God is calling me, I am not going to decline that call.
That part.
So however that looks, however that feels in that moment is what it is. And I'm not really a shy person because I'm used to be put on the spot with that twin dynamic with growing up with an introverted brother and him being so shy or hesitant to speak. I was the one who was always called to be like, all right, order pizza or, go talk to the person and give them the change. So yeah, I was used to that. My Nana always will walk around like, my granddaughter could sing something. And I would have
Don't
to
do that because I'll put you on the spot. Hold on.
I would have to sing something on spot, so there's certain things that I've just been groomed into, and that's what you're seeing today, that product.
So, and the product is beautiful. We're not going to invalidate that at all.
Thank you.
I want to know, because we talk about the harmony and balance, when you do get into those spaces and it's like, I don't want to talk to nobody, what are you doing to fill your time that keeps you solely from your internal forces rejuvenate? How do you rejuvenate yourself so that you can be this light that is being used to activate light?
I'm grateful. I spend time with God.
Yes.
I meditate. I listen to scripture. I don't have a physical church home, but YouTube and the internet is always a great place. There's tons of content out there, especially with light workers and lighthearted people. So I listen to TD Jakes.
You sent that the other day.
Jakes.
Ooh.
I listen to Change Church, Mr. Daryl, I think his name is. I might be messing his name up, but I listen to, select pastors, preachers, and spiritual content that, just brings me back to myself. I might go to the gym. I might roll up and spark it and just think to myself.
And reflections.
I'm grateful because what God has done in my life, I am able to work and tune into my responsibilities without having to be depleted or looking at it as something that is taking away from me.
Right.
So
Because it's a passion too. You're in your passion and your purpose.
Yes. I make my phone calls to my loved ones and I check up on them. That's what rejuvenates me. Or I open my laptop, I answer my emails, and I write my plans out. You know, I'll
organization.
Yes, that's a big thing for me. I'll open up a new Google Doc. It could just be a blank page, and I'll just write down everything that I currently have in my, bandwidth right now going on, and I'll just think future wise. I'll think of where things are right now, and I'll type it all out, and then how they manifest or where it should go. I'll lay it all out.
That's important. So just to be clear and reiterate, in case some of the audience may not have got the key factors. Well, at least the key factors to me.
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to that solo time, that solitude, we're talking about we are connecting with God. We are connecting with that source, that creator of all. The baseline, we get into that, right? Then we're connecting with people who we love, who just hearing that they are well fills our cup. Whoever that is, it may not have to be blood. We are getting organized. It doesn't have to look a specific way. It could be a journal. It could be a Google Doc. It could be a painting, a canvas. It could be a vision board. Copy, clip, and paste. It could be cleaning.
Yes.
But it's just clearing what we're holding and getting it out so that it becomes clear. That's like off.
Releasing your energy.
Yes, and making space. So after she's done all that, I just got chills. After she's done all that, that is when she's able to come back out into the world and be the light that we witness her to be while she's walking in her passion and her purpose. Okay.
That's my prep.
And I don't even need to get into mine because mine looks very similar to yours. So we don't got to take up no time for that. It's just you just got to make sure that you're making time for that solitude, that rest and recharge. We do not need to be constantly in communication with everybody so everybody could be in our business asking questions and do it, because that is a distraction.
And it might look different for you.
Yeah.
It might be different, for other people. Like, it could be breaking down and total chaos and just ripping things apart. It doesn't have to be as organized as mine is. It just might be, going out and doing something reckless. I don't know what y'all do.
They have rage rooms. They have throwing axes. At Goddess Girl University last year, we did we were burning paper, we broke glasses. It was all safe, it was a safe space for us to release rage. So that is definitely a thing. Don't think it needs to be all perfect and pristine. And, we're dual beings, and those heavy emotions matter as well. Yeah,
because on the other side of that, that's the nicer side. Now, if I'm going through something, very heavy at the time, I'm going to cry it out. I'm going to do a self-care routine and get myself dolled up, and I'm just going to look at myself and I'm going to look back and, reflect on where I've come from.
Very important.
Pull things, mind you, because I have a lot of things from my childhood.
I've seen that on your wall. I love it. Yeah.
I might look at old photos, or I might look at how far my friends have come, or how far my parents have come, and just be grateful.
She's channeling. That's transmuting. That is alchemizing. You said that in a text the other day. We are alchemists.
Yeah,
we truly are. So when she is doing that, going back and reflecting and seeing the growth, seeing the growth, knowing that it was all temporary and there's still room to grow.
Yeah.
That is a practice. That is channeling that energy in a impactful way. It's not even about positive or negative. What is impacting? What is purposeful?
Yeah. Finding the consistencies. Yeah. Because I find for myself, if I am going through something heavy, it's a similar feeling to what I've already faced before. At age 27, it's all right, you're still a novice at things, but you can't be oblivious to what you've learned thus far. So deductive thinking will say, all right, well, when's the last time you felt like this? And what then happened thereafter within the next years? And I will say for myself, my it's not a parameter, but the way that time works for me is in increments of 4.
Oh, wow.
Literally.
It's crazy.
It's in increments of every 4 years I go through a major change in my life. Whether that's in the physical capacity, the spiritual capacity, whatever you want to call it, but 4 is a big number for me. So every 4 years I've done something 4 years of high school, I graduated, went to college. 4 years of college, I graduated college. 4 years then thereafter college, I'm walking in my purpose. I'm making a living for myself. And I'm, doing the things that people always told me would never happen, all by the grace of God. So I always think back to that. And in those moments where I did graduate high school or graduate from college, it was still the same feelings. There's consistencies in everything. So that's when I choose to go back into connecting with Source.
Yes. Because
again, I don't want, me personally, I do not want to live my own life. I want to live a life that God is calling me to live.
Yes.
Right?
Use us.
To be a vessel.
Yes.
And so that's just how it works for me. And it's not always shits and giggles. It's not always pretty. Okay. But when it's not pretty, I look at the consistencies.
That's the pattern.
Yeah.
You see the pattern. So when we see the pattern, because we started with saying, that time for solitude, knowing when to disconnect, because we get those projections as we're moving through this realm. We get those projections. And if we let too much in, we forget to see the consistencies, because now we're picking up other people's residues and their experiences. But it's important to have that time to reflect so you can see the consistencies and empower yourself.
Yep.
Self-empowerment is very important in all of this.
It is.
And that's a lesson that I am working on currently, because even though I'm where I'm at, Lady A over here will let me know, sis, you being yourself up again. And I'm like, I'm just being accountable. Wait a minute. Is it accountability, or are you just being yourself up again? And so I'm with you, and I'm seeing that consistency and the awareness is there. Mm-hmm. So self-empowerment is what that is.
Yeah.
Now we're going to glide right in, because we kicked it off with the happy birthday.
Thank you.
First of all. And as we come into the new year, 2025, I guess we could say the collective is having another birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Thank you. Happy birthday, y'all.
Yes.
But we not here to have a party. We not that type of party anyway. Okay. We are here to plan. This is a party. It's a plan party. We are planning. And before we can even begin planning, because it's not up to just us, it takes a collective, energetic agreement to be able to plan and build, right? But we are builders. We builders. She showed the 22. 22, we got the light workers, we lighten it up, we building, okay?
Yep.
We have to be able to talk about how our community will celebrate this birthday, this rebirth. I call it a rebirth, a new year. I'm going straight into it. What are some things that you see within our community that we need to hover over to get some transformation going, just to stir the pot, just to see what we can get going as we prepare to plan for what's to come?
And when we say community, we're not talking specifically for Black and Brown. We're talking about everyone who falls within the category of what we're discussing today, or
soul, light,
who feels,
yes.
And I'm blanking on the word, but who feels like they resonate with us.
That's it. That's all.
Yep. What I see our community needing or heading towards for this new year is a newer revelation of self. And y'all are probably saying, "Oh, that's so vague, Adrian. Get into the specifics." So I'm about to start Virgoing. I'm about to start Virgoing since y'all want to call me out. Okay, I'm getting there.
She here. She has arrived.
So specifically, what I mean by that is I've seen a lot of people moving unapologetically. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people waking up to certain things, and then I've also seen a lot of people staying within their parameters, if that makes sense, whether it's being closed-minded, whether it's staying towards a traditional lifestyle of what they're used to. And I am not a determining factor of if that's positive or negative for you.
I love that you said that. Yes. Because we're not here to judge or separate. No. We're breaking down observations. So I've seen, like I said, people being unapologetic, people just waking up, and then people staying within their own norms, whatever that looks like for them. Right now at this time, a lot of people are coming into their own sense of what reality is, like we were just discussing off camera.
And that's fine. That's where the unapologetic version of themselves comes into play, because they're not sorry about being them. And I love that for them. I love seeing people be so enamored with themselves that they can shit the way that they want to and not care who's wiping their ass, because they're doing it for themselves. And that's a very stinky version of, or analogy of how to relate things. But yeah, a lot of people are in their own dwelling spaces and they're making beauty of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are waking up seeing themselves for who they truly are, who God is calling them to be. So with that comes, decision making that is not a part of this societal norm, which is beautiful, because everyone needs to live for themselves.
Yes.
Everyone deserves to live for themselves and create the lifestyle that God is calling them to create. Now, some people are doing it for God and some people are doing it for other reasons. You do you, whatever tickles your fancy. And then, with that third point, they're creating their own environments. They're staying within the parameters. They're staying in their own lanes. They're not being someone else because it's cool to go along with their trends. No, they're like, no, this does not feel good to me. I don't like your energy, and this is not something I can vouch for.
They're going rogue. They're going rogue, radically rogue, but not because not because they hate being, or not because they're angry. It's just a self-empowerment or a self-realization thing that they don't have to. And actually, when you go off the path, you discover new things to bring back to the collective, if you want to.
Right.
If you want to. And that's kind of where I've been looking at the collective. It's like, I see a lot of people coming together to like lift a certain awareness within our community. And then we have the others who are just not interested, and that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine, but that self-realization is the first step.
Yep.
What you choose to do with that, it's, I feel as though, and I can't speak for God, you know what I'm saying? But my intuitive thought is it's all connected. And that's a fact. It's not it is all connected. So I guess I am speaking God's language at that point, right? So when you become self-realized, we're still in the hive. And in the hive, we're all impacting each other. So if you can, whether on a large scale and you're on your camera and a microphone, or whether it's personal day-to-day holding the door and just having a conversation with the cashier, share that realization. You may have to learn how to use that realization, that self-realization, so you're not offending or downing or shaming others, because there's space for all of us. But you have to share. We have to share. In our community, it's better. It's more graceful. People are more receptive, in our own community. But outside, I feel like they'll catch up. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. The conversation kind of shifted just now. But it still revolves around the self-realization and what the purpose of that is.
Yeah.
Because we're all workers here. We're all builders here. But not everybody is awake, like you said.
Right.
But when they wake up, what do you do with that wokeness? What do you get? Do you get radical and do it for self? And, or do you get radical and you do it for the collective? I feel like I do it for the collective. I feel like I am. I feel like you do too. I feel like that is what we walk in. I
feel like it's just inevitable. I feel like it's inevitable. The same way the rainbow didn't say, hey, I think the blue is better off with the yellow because it makes green. And
break it down in preschool terms. That's right. It all go together.
Everything goes together naturally. Yeah. And you'd be surprised how some opposites work out too. So I'm not sure how God works or why the way he does what it is that Jesus does, but I know that it works out for the good of his glory, and I trust that, and that is also applicable to how people live their lives. People may wake up at different times.
That part,
right?
That part.
If we woke up at 3 p.m. today, then we all would have been off on this production scale, right? Because we woke up late. But when when you're on divine timing, nothing else matters because everything works out according to plan. That is the final and absolute. That is it. Now, when we look between the layers of our matrix that has been manifested by the collective, because it's all connected, where
do we, within our community, when we talk about the builders, because I'm just going to call our community the builders. I'm just going to call us that because we didn't know what to call it. But if it resonates, that means you are a builder.
Right.
And you feel a call. You feel a call to, but you don't know how. And we're trying to figure out our day-to-day lives. When we're becoming self-realized and we are empowering ourselves, how can we connect with others that are like us so we can amplify this individual yet collective realization?
Don't try.
That part.
People put too much effort into things that are inevitable. Like, you gotta eat, that's inevitable. You gotta go to sleep, that's inevitable. And if you don't, you have to deal with those consequences. So in the same manner, it's like, for those who are looking for their tribes, just be you. And whoever sticks and stays and is loyal and committed to you is meant for you. I find that. And I literally just got out of this season, which is why I could talk about it so effortlessly
I'm receiving
now.
so much. I'm receiving so much right now as you say this.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go.
But I've tried to keep people in my life because I thought that they were good for me.
Yeah.
But the way that that's humbled me and what I've had to go through in the midst of trying to force things is not worth it. Because it made me feel like I was losing myself. I started not to see myself anymore. And then it got to a point where I was doing so much for other people that I wasn't able to do for myself.
That part, girl.
And I'm not talking about materialistic things. I'm talking about spiritual things.
Yes.
So as I'm speaking life over other people and as I'm acknowledging other people and walking in my light, you know, I'm thinking I'm doing a good thing by continuing to sacrificing myself, which was a good thing because I was able to help and save others. But then when it came into going into solitude and the things that I needed to do for myself, I found how unrequited it was for me. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, Adrian, you know who you are, but why do you feel so insecure?
Because you carry in what you've absorbed from the others.
Exactly.
See that, and that's why I'm having the conversation of like, how do we connect? How do we share? Because when we are sharing, it's like we are also tainting when we're sharing, but we have to.
Yeah, we don't get to choose what we share. You being in my life.
I'm like, we don't?
No, you being in my life is sharing.
That part,
and you don't recognize that.
I do.
Yeah.
Me being here and you being in a mind, that is the job. That it's done. And we do what we show up, but we have that understanding.
Yeah, but you don't need to do anything more.
Okay. All right.
This
so
is
that's the message.
Unconditional sisterhood.
I guess that's
anything
the message.
Anything that is pure and true and unconditional does not require anything else.
That's that part. And that is the most spiritual. That is it.
It's not transactional.
Yeah.
The things that are genuine are not transactional. You don't just show up to your mom and be like, look, you can only be my mom if you give me lunch money. What? She almost ripped her vagina in half. And you saying you giving her prerequisites to be, what I mean? We don't give prerequisites to our loved ones. Our loved ones are just our loved ones, regardless of where they are in life. Why? Because our souls were connected way before we even knew who we were.
That's
and
true.
We don't even know who we are. So how am I going to give you advice on what works for you when what's working for you has kept you here thus far? You know what I mean? And our community is dealing with so much in this day and age.
When we say what's kept us here thus far, that's where it's like I keep like lifting the blanket. I keep lifting the rug, because even though it's what's kept us here this far does not mean it's the most purposeful or impactful way to go about it. And that's where it's like, so you gave the breakdown on, you know, how when connecting, we'll know what it feels like. It'll be unconditional. It'll be loyalty. It'll be understanding. It'll be natural.
Yep.
Because of life and the matrix that we have manifested, everything is to be questioned because of the trauma that we have endured. And I'm not trying to tag trauma and hold on to it and do that, but it is just a reality of this world. We're going to come out bruised. We get very bruised along the way. So we might find our community, but not know how to step into it because we carrying shit and it might rub and ruffle feathers before we can even get into our astronaut suits and take off. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like there is a way for us, a need for us to know how to connect. And it's not just so effortless because we're living in this human experience. And a lot of times I'm met with a lot of resistance, but I'm like, I know the work we're supposed to do here. And then and then it turns into a cycle. And it's like, damn, we know we see the greatness here and we see what's supposed to, and I'm not talking about relationships and romance shit, I'm talking about business because people let their own shit get in the way. You understand?
Yes.
So in that realm, it's like, damn, you a light worker, you a builder. I know we supposed to be building, But we can't build because you got this personal trauma thing happening and we can't connect right now. So then we go back. And then if somebody's not doing the work, right? And I'm speaking at so many different levels. It is relationship. It is professional.
Your connection is connection.
Connection is connection.
Capacity.
Okay. How do we? What if there are people that struggle with that? For me, so I'll use myself as an example. Reasons why it has been hard to work with people for me, victim mindsets. I come across a lot of people with victim mentality. And when it is time to do something or make a change, or we need to, act on something, it's who can I blame? Or it was this, instead of just understanding we're here now, what are we going to do? You understand? So that limiting victim mindset gets in the way of us continuing, or now it's a little tension here. It's shifted.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I understand the impermanence of not everybody stays, and it's 8 billion people in the world, and we be in flow and let the next team show up. But for me, my thing, I may deliver abrasively. So when I deliver abrasively and I talk how I talk, people are like, your ego is too big. Why are you talking like that? Why you got an attitude? And it's like, I don't have an attitude. This is, know. So how can I tone that down? Or do I need to tone that down? Or will my people just get me? I'm all over the place, but I like it.
I mean, I think that other people simply need to stop forcing other people into their own perceptions of how they should be.
That's it. So it's just another breaking down the wall and just making space.
Yeah,
okay.
Like if we had enough going on for ourselves, we wouldn't be so concerned with what other people are doing. And this sometimes can be a quote unquote toxic habit for myself, to where people call me too independent.
Come on, accountability.
Too easily, or whatever the case may be. I'm me. But my mom always taught me, when you learn how to do things for yourself, you don't have to worry about what other people are doing. Mm-hmm. And people are always asking me, well, why do you do so much in this day and age? It's because this is what I trust myself with. And there is still a purpose and a goal to reach as far as community and unity goes. We still have a purpose to serve when it comes to other people.
That part, yes.
So I'm not going to hand my purpose to someone else and then question why they can't get it done.
That part, okay.
If someone can tell me to let go of myself and stop putting myself into everything, then I'm going to get it done myself. Because then that way you can't tell me what to get done and what not to get done, because I'm getting it done already. You know what I mean? I'm not going to scrutinize someone else's work ethic or whatever is holding them back, because that's not for me to be concerned with. Yeah.
So the download for me right now is I'm going to be accepted regardless if it's meant, because they'll see me. They'll see me. They'll see.
And the newer download is, regardless of who accepts you, you're already here. So nobody can approve or decline your existence.
That part. That's even heavier.
That's that. My, when you learn how to just move without the world in your discernment, that's how you know that you're closer to Source, because Source didn't need anyone else's approval for you to be here. That's why you're meant to be here. So if you ruffle feathers, them feathers weren't healthy to begin with. If you come off too abrasive, then someone is not understanding that there's an urgency to it.
Ooh.
And I'll give you an example too.
An urgency.
Yeah.
Okay. People, that's the energy that I feel, though. It's an urgency.
Wait too long sometimes. They're like, oh my gosh, it's not turning out for me. Well, did you prepare? Did you practice? Did you study? Okay, then if you practice and you study and you still waiting, why you not practicing now? You sit here questioning why, how long you gonna get stuck on why before you recognize you didn't create anything. You will never know why until you're the alchemist or the reason of something being of creation. You would never know why, and even if you do, you would never know why something works out. Anyway,
anyway, there was a message there, running back. Yes, but go ahead.
y'all can rewind the 10 seconds before. But there was one time I was at an event, and, you know, I was used to going to this venue because this is one of our partners, blah, blah, blah. I have some of my guests pull up, some creatives come up for the event, and they had friends come with them. And so I was asking them, because there was limited parking at that venue, like, where did y'all park y'all car? And they're like, oh, we parked in this parking lot. And I didn't know this person from a can of paint. But when I feel convicted, I feel convicted, and I don't care how someone feels after that, because I, in my head, do not, like, if there's a train coming and you're on them tracks, However I say what I say, regardless of how it makes you feel, is going to save your life. Because if you tell me, after I tell you the train is coming, right? What train? I'm going to drag you off them tracks. I don't care if you get bruised. I don't care if you get scraped. I don't care what minor, injuries you have to you, because you could have possibly died. Anyway.
It's so much there. Yes. Hey, go ahead.
So we're at the event. Asked where they parked the car. Parked at some place where I know that the car is going to get towed. I'm like, you need to move your car because they're going to tow it. They're like, oh, they're not going to tow it. It'll just be here. I said, you need to move your car before you tow it. If you think I'm playing, your car is not going to be there when you get out. They're like, okay. Left to go get their car. The tow truck was already at their car. They already had it jacked up on the tow truck, and they had to argue with the tow truck mechanic to get the car down. It's things like that where you don't necessarily see how someone is saving you, that by you questioning that person's existence or even feeling some type of way can get in the way of your own blessings, right? Yeah. But either way, they were able to get their car out and however it worked. But I'm saying that to say, you don't know everything that's in the picture. You don't know how every color was created, and you don't understand why your eyes are seeing it. But when you see it, you better believe it and have faith that you are not wrong, and God will never steer you wrong.
Ooh, chills.
Okay. And if somebody comes up against you, it's okay. You lose one, you get 10 more.
That's how I go.
So the things that we sit here and try to conceptualize all the times will not make sense at certain moments. But the more that you live your life, and on the day that God calls you home, I'm sure you'll figure it out and you'll understand it. And if not, you'll come back and have another life.
That's the part. So now I'm going to humble myself, because all of that is projection. Those are, and I'm being accountable. Check my accountability and take notes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all of that is my abrasiveness, that is a call of urgency, because I have been witnessing things. I have been seeing things that people will call me crazy about, and that's okay. But when you have seen and you do believe and you know that there's an urgency, I feel a need for people to build with me, because I know I can't do it alone. So I'm projecting that energy onto the collective, but I have no control. All I can do is be.
Yeah.
And who will see, and they'll believe, and they'll join me effortlessly.
Yeah.
Bars. Ooh.
Sometimes we want people to come with us that cannot go.
They can't go. That shit hurts. I be wanting niggas to go, and they don't want to go.
I would love to save you, but I am not God.
That's my trauma. Because growing up in the system, having to be in dorms with different, those were my people. We moved, they moved. I moved, they moved. We going to sit down. It's our time for rec. So it was like I'm in that hive. And even though I broke free and I'm grown and I moved by myself now, it's still like that want for team, that want for, you know what I'm saying? But hearing what you are saying is, it doesn't matter. Your team is here. They're here. Maybe they're realized, maybe they are not. But when they have realized, they're going to do their part. And energetically, it doesn't even matter if y'all have ever met or not. No. Y'all are here. Get to work.
Yep. And by the time that y'all all link up again, y'all will all have gone through your own, series of life that will give you exactly what you need for y'all to be equally yoked. I will never let that concept go, being equally yoked. Equally yoked is talked about in the Bible as far as being married to somebody. But you'll recognize that when you are in marriage with someone, it's not just an intimate relationship. You're married to your friendships, you're married to your family, you're married to mindsets and so many different things.
Yes, talk about it.
And when that's you're equally yoked with something, it's not oil and water. You turn the fire on that bitch, and then it becomes one.
For real, that's what I do with the rice.
Yeah, with the sazon. And the same way how the seasons come together and it tastes good.
Right.
It's the same way how life does.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So back to community though, as individuals within the community, because it's not about just connecting with others. It is more so about connecting with ourselves. We wanted to touch on, you brought up the topic of uniqueness.
Yes.
Let's break that down. What is the importance of accepting that uniqueness within ourselves?
Child, because you can't live nobody else's life.
Boom.
You have your
try.
own. Literally yesterday I was thinking, and I don't know why I kept just getting random downloads yesterday, but I'm like, what's for you is for you. it doesn't have, you're not meant to be like someone else. You're not meant to have the same fingerprint, the same palm print. Uniqueness is what gives the flavor.
The flavor.
Literally. You can consider it your nutmeg. You can consider it your spice. Whatever you consider it to be, but you are that difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I think of uniqueness, I think of authenticity because they are one and the same. They're interchangeable. And with authenticity, I believe that frequency, that when we look of like the measurement of people's characteristic traits, people who just embody that authenticity, they stand out. They get invited into different rooms because what you're seeing is like, oh, that's rare. That's kind of, because right now, again, talking about the hive mind, we're all moving in a very similar way. Even though our life experiences are different and we're named different things and we look different ways, we're kind of all just riding a wave. We just seen what happened with the politics and voting and, you know, like we all move on these traditional systems and seasons. But when you do realize things about yourself and you don't subscribe to certain things, you stand out.
Yeah.
That comes with that acceptance and that authenticity. And that is a key. That is a major key in this realm. I'm gonna keep calling it the Matrix because that's just where I'm at this point. In the Matrix.
I literally, anytime that society comes up right now, everything just leaves my mind because it's such a paradigm that it will never be understood. Like, it will never be understood. It's man-made. I don't even want to understand it.
Yeah.
I don't. Because as someone who has studied communications and like been to school for it, I understand the encoding and decoding of the messages that they're putting out. All of it is a facade. I'm not here to be distracted. I'm here to do a job.
Crap.
So regardless of what it is that they're doing nationwide,
is on
my purpose is greater than that.
Side.
They always like to say, in God we trust.
Nationwide.
Literally, in God they need to rely.
Ooh,
so
another bar.
Trust, but they need to rely on God.
I'm
and
trusting.
live that life.
I'm trusting.
You could trust it, but if you don't follow through with the actions, what's the trust mean?
We follow through. How do we follow through with aligned actions, with aligned planning, with aligned conversations, with intention setting, so that you know where you at with it?
That I don't know, because child, even the days that, like I said to you, no plan survives contact with reality.
Yeah.
Literally, I just trust in divine timing, because even on my worst days, things work out. Even on my great days, things don't work out. So I don't know how that, I don't know.
But even when they don't work out, in hindsight, when you go back, it'd be like, damn, it did work out.
It did work out.
Or I'm wiser because of it. And now it's gonna work because I know now.
Yeah.
So is it ever really a loss? That's a mindset thing too. No. That's a mindset thing. And that type of mindset that doesn't blend with the victim mindset. Being able to recognize that it wasn't all a problem. It may have felt like a problem in that moment. And yes, hurt, yes, pain. But now look at you.
Yeah, no, that's the cure.
That's Lionel brought it up. That's the resilience.
Yeah, that's the cure for anything negative, is to just always move and be hopeful and always rely on your faith. Literally.
Yes, faith.
Yeah.
It comes back to faith.
It still has to be a positive mindset, and that's, I hope and pray that our community focuses on the positive, because, oh my gosh, I hate to see people so stuck on things that do not matter.
So that was the first direct answer to the collective. Y'all be worried about things that don't matter. I've been trying to get like a direct call, how do we build? We could start by focusing on things that matter. What does matter?
To you, not to society, but to you.
Yes. What does what matters?
Yeah, what matters your future to look like.
What matters to you in the grand scheme of all life? What are your values? What matters?
What I value is literally family and the things that I cannot get back. So, for instance, time, energy, feelings, people, I can't get those back. So that's what I care about the most. And
time, energy, family.
Yeah. And all of that is why I make my decisions. That's how I make my decisions. Who is this benefiting and what's going to come from this? If that's not a part of my plan, then I don't have a plan at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's so funny because in this time of life, there are things that will distract you or try to.
Definitely. So
take you away
give me an
from
example.
it.
Give me an example. Give me an example. What will distract us? Let's go.
Other people.
Okay.
As a woman, I feel the need to speak on this because I know that there are other women who might fall into this category.
Let's go.
But as a woman, we were raised that like, oh, there's like a knight in shining armor that will come save you. There will be a beautiful, strong man that you're just so in love with that will come and save you from all of your challenges, traumas, and pasts, and just everything will be smooth. No.
I think that's toxic femininity,
It
actually.
is. It's toxic femininity.
That's toxic
Watching
femininity.
Disney and
Yeah.
all the princess and da-da-da-da, this, that, and the third. Like, that was a delusion that a lot of people have to get out of, and I got out of at an early age, was no one is coming to save you.
Nobody.
But you also have to be aware of the subliminal ways that people will try to control you as well, too.
Yes. Ooh, talk to the
Because
choir.
As
Come on.
you build with people, you don't know where people got their bricks from, to use your analogy.
Ooh.
You can get your bricks with, you know, your sisters. Like, I'm in a sorority. We got our bricks together.
Yes, yes.
We all knew what was on our bricks. Why? Because we all walk, talk, and move the same way. We
I
are
love
one,
that.
one for all.
Let's go.
When you're unequally yoked with someone, they could be stealing bricks from somebody
Oh,
else.
wow.
They could be using different materials to build bricks that are not even stable enough for you to build a
Right.
foundation.
False bricks.
Exactly.
Sand on the inside. Just crack.
Or
we
sometimes
off.
people like to take you
Yeah.
away from the things that have built you up in order for them to have full control over you.
Wow.
That's the main way that you control people. And we've learned this in history as far as like how our Black and brown communities were controlled and
Yeah.
manipulated. People infiltrated our spaces, took us away from our natural spaces, traditions, religions, everything. They moved us into their own environments
Yes.
that were confined and restrictive. Yes. So from there, this is where we have
Brainwashing.
come about in their society. But things would look a lot different if we were back with our original tribes doing the things that God called us to do at that time back in history. And I'm saying all this to say, right, because that was very analytical.
No. It was all truth. It wasn't analytical.
It was-
all
it was
needed to
truth.
be said, and it matters.
But
it does
for those
matter.
that didn't get that direct picture, I'm going to give it to you direct. Some
Mm-hmm.
people will isolate you and put you into isolation to take you away from the things that build you up in order for them to be the only thing that you rely on.
That part. Yeah.
That is toxic. The things that make you happy, you have to utilize your energy to make sure that you're able to maintain those things that build you up. If you don't, it will lead to your demise. Literally,
will.
it can. Who you build with is very, very important. So women always think like, oh, well, you know, someone's going to do this for me. And, you know, I'm a woman. I'm not supposed to be doing all this by myself. And, you know, I let my guard down. So I have this. And that's the reason why. No more scapegoating. No more
Scapegoating.
excuses. No more reasons why things didn't work out the way that they did. Look at your bricks. Put them together. You can't figure it out. Sleep on it, wait on it, and look at it again. Eat a little food, roll you up a blunt, have
Pray.
your little sippy
Meditate.
drink, pray, meditate, do all the things that you want to do.
Stay
okay?
receptive. Stay receptive to the next plan of action that comes through. The next little ding ding, go this way.
And use what you have. Use what you have and know that everything that you need all relies in you already. So, you know, whether it's with healthy people that are by your side that you'll be building these things with, or by yourself, regardless,
We have to build.
you have to
Regardless.
do it. You have to move.
Just to touch on the topic of that you just broke down, the isolation, the tactics of which we started with understanding that not everybody has the bricks to build with you. Some people are actually building with false bricks or stealing. Okay, so that is something to be mindful of when seeking community or seeking the tribe. Not that you have to seek, because it will happen organically through just divine alignment. That's just how it happens. But if you are seeking because you feel the urgency like I do, you have to understand the people that you come in contact that are equally yoked are not going to try to isolate you. No. They're going to try to empower you and propel you forward because they believe in what you're doing. They're going to put you, they're going to empower you to go invest in yourself. They're going to empower you. Sometimes gifts are Gifts are good. They're blessings. Not all gifts look the same. Not all gifts are materialistic. Sometimes it's love that they play with and they can take back. You know, that's that dangling, those possessions where they try to control.
Yep.
It's and I'm talking in and out of the conversation, but I feel like you get what I'm saying.
Breadcrumbing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another term.
Don't try to lure you in.
Yeah, they lure you in. Love bomb.
Here you go.
Love bomb. And this isn't just about relationships either, though. Like, you have to know this in friendships. You have to know this in work environments.
Yes.
Okay, because they will boost you up and say what you are and say what they see in you.
Here's $1,000
and then take your ideas and then
give me your soul.
Pull the rug right from under you.
Nope.
That happens. Okay? So it doesn't just look like love and relationships and the person that you're going to be with for the rest of it. It looks like whatever you're building in. So you have to be aware of these things and protect your energy.
And it doesn't always feel good, y'all.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't always feel good, y'all. Sometimes it is very uncomfortable and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, is this right for me? But usually in a sense of uncomfortability is when you're close to your breakthrough.
That part.
You know,
that part. And when you're in confusion, never commit. When you're in confusion and you're indecisive,
wait.
And you wait. Don't feel that pressure. And if anybody comes around to make you feel pressured like you have to, that's not for you.
Yeah.
Because why are you so fucking panicked?
Yes, why are you so
in
invested?
A rush? What the fuck?
Why?
What the fuck?
Can
I call you next
question.
Tuesday? Why you gotta know now?
You didn't even call me yesterday. Now you calling me to make sure I did what I had to do for you. And it's not even conducive for me.
Girl. Yeah, that alignment is very important. It got to be aligned. And you'll know when it's aligned because it'll just make sense.
It'll just happen.
It'll just make sense. For instance, we have talked about doing this show for like a month or two or a month or so. And we weren't attached to any specific date, and because we all value and practice flexibility, you know, there was never no weird shifts. We just know like we're busy. It's going to get done. And then just randomly, sporadically, it's like, how about this day? Boom. It happens.
It wasn't random.
It wasn't because we wasn't
always finished going through what we had to go through to give y'all these gems, y'all.
It's always a bling. It's always on time.
Like, we wasn't finished.
We wasn't ready yet. And we still not all the way ready, but we initiating the conversation.
We warming up.
Yeah, we warming up. It's getting a little toasty. So. I love it. It's so many fucking layers. I'm probably going to watch this episode like 2 times now.
Yeah.
Because I know that in what you are saying, just from the historical, the lineage, from the day-to-day relationship and the different dynamics of relationships. Like, it's so much. If you're watching this and you think that you're getting this conversation, go back and listen with a fresh set of ears from a different perspective, and you're going to get a different message. And it is all spiritual. Yeah. It is all spiritual, and we are not in control. We'll probably have a
different episode too. So.
And that's okay. It'll be there. Yeah. It's all there.
But we hope that this, permeates your heart or is able to speak to your life in some sort of form and capacity. And feel free to engage with us too. I feel like some people don't understand that too. Like, if there's something that you want to refute, I mean, even though I'm irrefutable, even though we're irrefutable.
Let's go.
I mean,
you stand alone and we stand together.
Yeah,
you are together. And we ain't.
Don't try it.
Don't get it confused.
Don't go going on her page trying to beat her down because of what I said. And
what?
You would never, but.
See, now I got to go learn martial. I got to go learn black belt. Jiu-jitsu or something so I can really know.
It wouldn't even get that close to us. You better go pray about it. You better go find out about it. You might make the wrong decision. But
just pay attention. Pay attention. You know we're not here to hurt you or tell you. We really here because we care. That's what it is. And the wisdom is going to come through, and we play too much.
Yeah, sometimes.
But we don't play too much because it's not a game.
I mean, we just lighthearted. Sometimes it could get so serious that you do have to see the enjoyment of life again, too. So I said all
definitely
that to say, engage with us. Let us know what stuck out to you. Let us know what you thought of while listening to this conversation. And
Yeah. Now, on to the next. We talked about uniqueness, we talked about community, all important. I want to talk about for youth. Youth is a part of this community. Yeah. Youth is important because we're products of our environments, right? We started out as little babies, we grew up, we witnessed, we watched, and now we have this product of what we are, and we move in a world with other people who were raised in the same time and people who were not, who have a different product. You understand? Yep. This next generation that is coming up, the babies, because, what can we do? What can we do? What do you feel? I know it's like we can't do too much because we're not in control, but what do you feel a theme needs to be? Just an open, loose, general theme for our youth.
I don't play by my babies, y'all.
Let's go then. Don't play.
Speaking on the youth and what we could do to better help them out is take them away from these screens and actually show them the real reality that we had growing up. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're so addicted to the screens. That's what they like. That's what they love. But in a way, our purpose as the wiser ones is to be like, all right, I know you love that screen a lot, but let me show you something new.
Yes.
And that's what we're here for. We're supposed to guide them towards the better side of life so that they can at least enjoy it. You know what I mean? Instead of like handing them a device that gives them a sense of false reality and then wonder why they're growing up so mentally. You know what I mean? Like, so with the youth, yes, that is so important that we give them guidelines and a structure, because we would not be here today without the structure that we had growing up. We would be so much more reckless sometimes if we didn't have somebody to check us like you just checked me about how I look. You know, some of these little girls, there was 2 girls in the gym the other day and they had booty shorts on working out in the gym. And, they was a part of other communities and stuff like that, but it didn't stop me from going up to them and being like, hey, y'all doing RDLs? Let me help you out. But then I looked at it and I was like, where's the rest of their pants? Right. They can't be a day over 18 or 21 cognizant enough to know how to protect themselves and what they look like. You know what I mean? So that's important.
That is a conversation piece right there too, because I feel as though, and this is the difference where it's like people are radically authentic and they feel like this is how I want to dress today. This is how I want to dress. But then there's a collective like morality, a morale that's just like, why? Respect. Even though you have the freedom to do it, why do you want to do that? What are you, not that you're looking for anything, because that could even be like a ping. It's not that I was looking to get this done, but this is just how I should be able to wear this and not get this.
No, you can't control other people.
Human nature.
So you could do what you want to do, but when other people have their thoughts, you can't control that. Mm-hmm. Okay. And there are a lot of people in the world.
Yes.
A lot of them. You don't understand what they're thinking. There's no way to fathom why they would do some of the things that they do.
We see what's going on in the media. We see how things are crumbling and people scurrying and jumping. People, it's a sick world out here. And it looks nice, when you don't know what's happening behind the curtain. Mm-hmm. It look real nice. But when you pull it back, it's a lot of dark, ugly shit going on. Okay.
And TTA don't play around. Y'all, I don't want y'all to fuck around and find out, okay? Because you gonna get fucked up. Okay? And I'm laughing because you have to. You have to sometimes. It doesn't smoothen things over, but it gets real and it hurts. And these are things that will taint your perspectives of life for the rest of your life. So no, we want to save your innocence. We want to preserve as much life as we possibly can.
There's a time and a place.
And it's inevitable. Take your time. Take your time. Everyone matures. Literally. And damn, I sound like my parents and
that's
my
okay
older
though.
peoples right now.
Because that is a universal wisdom that needs to come through to this generation, this youth. Because what are y'all looking for? Like, I know teens, like even my cousins have daughters or just friends have daughters, and at the age group and them wanting their lashes done, they wanting their brows down, the brows, they want to get piercings, they want tattoos. And it's like, I remember I'm 35 and at my age, my parents weren't even trying to let me wear lip gloss or like colored nails at like 11, 16. 12, 13. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like because the media and the music and everybody want to be a baddie or a Barbie or whatever, a Ice Spice, a Ice Box. I don't know if you're going to end up in an Ice Box if you put yourself out there and you don't know how to protect yourself.
I'm glad you said it.
I'm just saying. And they say like, oh, you hating and let the women be free and let the women, we are free and there's ways to go about displaying that. We don't have to over radicalize because it's dangerous.
But let me be real. I don't understand why when it comes to black and brown women, we always have to be the ones that are sexualized.
That part too.
Baddies, and all the examples that you just named are all black, majority brown women. I don't get that. You don't see that.
Barbie is a white woman. That's plastic. I meant that by that. Even, like I'm a Barbie. I'm plastic.
But when you look at Barb in the lens of our community, you might think of Nicki Minaj too.
Yeah.
Barbie is not really for us because we already know that
didn't come from. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in our community, when we think of Barbie, we think of plastic. We think of.
But when you say that though, that's because black culture is predominant in our world. So what I'm saying, baddies, and I'm saying this, that's what every race is trying to look like for real. When they're going to get the Kardashians, they want to embody that. They want to have that Barbie black culture. Like that's what they're doing. The baddie, everybody want to be a baddie. And I feel like it did originate within our culture, and our culture is so taken from. So it's not just, I get your message about the black women being sexualized. That's been happening because the curves and all of
overly
that
sexualized.
but for centuries that has happened.
Overly.
Okay.
Overly.
But I was speaking to women in general, and with us going back to you making the statement of why are only black women sexualized, that's because that's the culture is predominant.
Oh, yeah,
you just talked about how they went and taken and stole and brought it over. They are always going to be the highlight center of attention, and they trying to keep us weak and in this space of,
it's not
we're not enough or we're struggling.
We're not scapegoating no one else besides ourselves.
Okay, accountability.
Because they are not the ones that are saying, hey, go be a baddie. Go get your body done.
But they're in control. They're in control of the networks that are promoting it.
That's what's high on demand.
Yes.
It would not be something that they promote if we were not demanding that type of energy.
Oh, that part. They're going to look. That's the accountability.
If women were strong enough to say, hey, I am a lady, I do not get into that. That is not what I like. Mm-hmm. And 90% of us were all cumulatively coming together and saying that.
Moving like that.
They would cancel that culture so quick, fast, in a hurry.
Right.
And you would see how it changes all within the encoded and decoded messages that all that's why I'm saying.
I love it. It's all connecting. It's all connecting.
When you really study it, it's supposed to be for the people, by the people. It would not be shown if the people weren't asking for this energy. So because
the collective amplifies that.
Because we out here shaking asses, and because we wearing booty shorts, and we want to be, because we think we're supposed to be women and liberated and doing this, that, and keep painting that picture. Keep painting that picture.
And then wonder why the youth are following that and doing all that and know all of that.
You wonder why sexual assault rates are going up and not down. Ooh. You wonder why after being sexually assaulted, your mental health is declining. Ooh. Yes, I'm calling cards because people make decisions and don't see the long term in their decisions. We have future generations that are early showing early signs of deteriorating, and we can't help them. Why? We're losing control of the future generations, and no one else is saying, hey, this is wrong. Hey, da-da-da-da. No, they look at it like, oh, well, you're so pious. Oh, you're a child of God, aren't you? You back in the day used to do the same. That's not what it's about. Yeah, we used to do it back in the day, but
and that's why it's so bad now. That's what, because we did do it back in the day. That's why it's fucking bad. It's gonna get worse. So now we need the change, and this is where it's like, this is the urgency. This is the urgency that I be feeling, where it's like, I know we can't control others, and I know we can't, but
the youth is different.
Gotta change, right?
The youth is different. We can't control other adults
because they're the future.
We cannot control other adults,
but we can help the adults figure this shit out so that they can stop influencing the children in this way.
I was telling somebody, no.
What we gonna do then?
No, kids are different. We don't have to change what SpongeBob shows, because it's fucking SpongeBob.
It's still kids. It's up to the
It's up to the adults that are around them that are introducing this type of content to the children.
Okay.
It's the adults that lack that self-awareness and that discipline to control the child from watching it, but they're too concerned. Look, I done had a hard day at work.
Right.
I'm gonna roll me up one. I'm gonna watch me baddies, and I'm gonna have a sip of wine with my 5-year-old watching her.
About it.
That's sick, even for the 13-year-old. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up with Flavor of Love and seeing the first of reality TV and do the boop boop boop. But even their outfits weren't even all that. You feel me? Like, yeah, I don't know.
But you're doing that thing too, where it's like we go back and we say, well, we had this. It doesn't matter what we had. We're seeing the manifestation of what it is about to transform into, and it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse. So it doesn't. We can call to the past to see the consistencies, like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna bring it back.
Yeah.
Look to the past to see the consistencies, and now that we are aware of the consistencies, it doesn't fucking matter if we did it. We know we can't continue to do it.
Yeah.
Because if we continue to do it, what the hell's gonna happen? And yes, there's people out there at the nudist beach, and there's people like Free the Nipple. How is that productive to the elevation of our planet for real?
Because nipples don't even help other adults.
I mean, it helps children. It feeds the babies.
The babies.
You know what I'm saying?
Just making it provocative.
Right.
We on the same page. Y'all piss me off. Don't piss me off today.
Because that's what it's about. It's about when we look at the industry that is collapsing, that influences our children.
Our children.
It's all about sex and provocative and
mini skirts and the
all
short
of that
skirt and just.
And the molestation and the
all
sex
of that.
trafficking and all of the rape.
Ugh.
Okay. All of that coexists with the media that is making it
shown.
glorified.
Yes.
There's a light and there's a light and then there's a dark.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we have a history of this and it's just getting bigger and worse and uglier and nasty, what the fuck do y'all think is gonna happen?
It happens so fast.
We're not gonna be able to be here. We're just gonna be walking around killing or raping or doing it's just gonna be like a norm because we're normalizing it. And is that what y'all want?
That's what they want.
Is that what they want? That's
what
not
they
what y'all
care
want.
about.
That's not what y'all want. So stop making excuses and stop saying, well, they did it. And did it. Who gives a fuck who did it? That's what I tell my kids. Bubba did this and Junie did this. And it's like, I don't care who did what. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
What we going to do?
But not even what are we going to do, but what does this look like long term?
It looks bad.
We might not know what to do in the moment
we done turned
of
up
it.
on one time.
But it's really the long-term picture of what that portrays.
Yes.
People are like, oh my God, teen pregnancy. I remember when they first had
MTV.
16 and pregnant. Everybody was like, why are we glorifying this? Why are we showing it?
It's raising awareness, but it is also amplifying the energy.
Yes.
Because now it's normalizing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got young girls popping their coochie because they trying to figure out how the clit work. Why are you doing that?
Right.
Why? And who is doing this?
And it's natural. It is natural for all of us to have curiosities.
It
Okay.
is.
Y'all seen the wood. The boy was humping on the pillow
But
and stuff.
reel it in.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've had experiences with my curiosity, you know, but there is a natural, more scientific, more spiritual way to
do
go
it.
about breaking things down and
Be
guiding these
demure.
youth.
You know,
or you can be radical and be, you know, just straight break down anatomy and be like, this goes for this and this is the purpose of this. We put pleasure into everything and we glorify and we glitz and glam it up.
Hello.
Okay, so that's what goes on. And when we do that, we take away from the pureness of our existence.
Don't even last that long.
You know what I'm saying? We need to humble ourselves as a species. We out here doing the most and we are the fucking roaches. I'm sorry to say it like that.
Crazy.
We are there's aliens in the sky, y'all. I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it, but I gotta do it. If they over us hovering,
There's
watching,
things
observing, they're looking at us littering and fucking humping on each other and hipping and dipping. And they're looking at the animals suffering, becoming extinct. They're looking at the life ecosystems in the oceans dying. And we think we just the shit.
Yeah.
We just think we the shit because we can get a house and a rollie and a Wraith and a what?
What is that? You can't even. It's rented.
We can't even drive the Wraith if the earth is fucking gone.
It's rented.
We can't.
Oh my
But with the higher
gosh.
intelligence now involved watching, it's like, who you think they gonna zap first? Who you think gotta go first? You think they gonna get rid of them lions that like to attack people at
I
the
don't
zoo?
even care who
Or you
goes
think they
first.
gonna get rid of? What you think gonna happen? You don't even care.
I don't care who goes first.
I just think that it's time for us to move past and beyond and stop making excuses saying, well, it's always been this way and it's just a different version. We don't need a different version of the same thing. No. We need a new.
But that's where we're warriors to breaking generational curses.
And now I feel my ancestors because it's like it was anew for them. It was anew for them. And there will be another anew because it is just ongoing. It is a cycle.
Every 4 years.
Every 4, the seasons.
2025.
And that makes me sad. And that's where the existential crisis comes in because it's like I give all this energy and it's like it must go on. regardless. And it's going to be bad.
Beyond us.
And it's going to get better and it's going to be bad. I just need to know that my people hear me. Because it is bad and we are a part of that. And it is in us to be better examples for these children so that they even have a place to exist in when it's all said and done.
Shoot, they might burn it themselves.
They come in here like clean slates.
Yeah.
They come in here like clean slates and they watching what we have created for them. This is the palace that we have given to these new beings that could be engineers and scientists to help find new ways to grow food and cure all types of diseases and fucking build things above sea level because the levels are rising, like new types of homes, new types of ways of, but they're so focused on things that don't fucking matter. Creatives, put it in the music. If you fuck with what I'm saying, put it in the music. We don't got time to talk about the emotional relationships, even though they matter. Find a way to channel the lesson through that story because it's levels. You understand? Find a way to have those double entendres. It is urgent because the kids are listening. Artists, when you paint a picture, paint what you see for real and make sure that you amplify that energy so that we can be very, very clear on what it is that we're seeing. A call, I got fucking chills.
Yeah. The sad part about it is a lot of what we said, they're probably not going to understand. And it's still inevitable. Somebody will, and they'll be able to break it down and alchemize it and transmute it in their art form, whatever that looks like. And somebody else will, and they'll do it in there. And that's the ripple effect. And that's it. That's where the hive mind come in. So you know who we talking to. Y'all know who we talking to. Yeah. We got shit to do, y'all. We really do.
We love y'all.
Yeah,
I love
we
you. Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's not burn ourselves.
No, we're not gonna burn down the place. I love it. Not today.
I love it. I love it.
I love you.
Now, to wrap us up or bring us home, we're gonna talk about our individual plan. We had a conversation. Me and sis here, we got something that we do. We lock in once a month, you know what I'm saying? And one of the goals that are very important to us this year is time management.
Yes.
Time management. And that is important in so many ways. And I'm gonna let Lady A kick it off with her intention of why she even brought that to me. And I'm like, girl, you know what? I'm late everywhere. Yeah. And I think that's a sign.
But that's fine. Mm-hmm. Like when people mention time management, the first thing that comes to mind is like being late and things like that.
But it's bigger.
It's bigger than that.
It's so all connected.
When I say time management, it's about understanding that you're always in the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. No matter how much you try to rush things, no matter how much you try to slow things down, it's inevitable. It's a social construct, yes, which means that when you take the number away and you're just living in the present moment, being in the present and using your present moment to prepare for the future, by reflecting on the past, there's no way that you'll ever miss anything. Mm-hmm. So I brought up time management because I would like to be intentional with my time this year. I do not want to waste my time allowing others to project their struggles and challenges onto me.
Yes.
I want to use my time and really be able to give my time to Source so that he can continue to use me. Mm-hmm. And really just make sure that every day that I'm blessed with is being utilized to its fullest capacity. So,
time management in that sense.
Yeah.
It really is all connected. So when we talk about the management of time and where we are, even though we're always where we're supposed to be, getting the insights, getting the wisdom, it comes with a protection for yourself. Time management is protection. Mm-hmm. If you are managing your time well, you are not going to be so available for the bullshit. No, you're not going to be, you can't.
You're busy.
Exactly. You're managing your time, which is a gift.
Yep.
That's one of your values because we can't get it back.
No.
Right? So time management seems to be the theme because we don't have much.
Nope.
We don't have much time. Why are we just being frivolous and gluttonous with our time as if we have it and we don't? Like, we have all of these resources. It's fucking aliens in the sky. That means we're going to have new technologies amongst us. Apple upgrading almost every damn month. Y'all know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have all these resources around us. Let's balance our resources and manage our time individually. We don't got to do it together, but individually for yourself, manage your time. Get to know these resources that are around you, the natural and the AI and the and then watch what you can do. Make it purposeful, make it intentional. Gotta tat it. Make it impactful. Remember that what we do, go watch the butterfly effect. Go watch the butterfly effect. Okay, go watch The Matrix. Go watch movies where you see how one thing impacts everything else.
Yep.
Understand this. Learn your emotions. Learn that they are an antenna, that kind of compass that will guide you. If it gets too pressure and too isolating over here, you know you're not in the right vicinity. You're not in the right vicinity. And if you manage in that time, you'll feel it very quick because you'll be in tune. Yep. Am I all over the place?
No, you're fine.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
fine. Because she gets me.
Yeah, meditate on it, y'all. I'm just sitting here
it.
thinking, like, just meditate on it. Make the decision that you feel called to make. And if you don't know, then go to sleep. Take a nap.
Ooh, that's what Abraham Hicks says. She says, sometimes you got to just bury your head in the sand or go to sleep and wake up and start again. Refresh that energy. Rejuvenate.
Jesus took naps. A lot of them.
Yes. Jesus also meditated.
And he went away from all of his peoples
to go to
spent time with God.
And Jesus also went to, didn't he go to Tibet?
I don't know.
He went with the monks. There's a story of him going to learn meditation. I'm serious though. Look it up. Y'all fact check me if I'm wrong. Let me know.
He went all over.
He went to learn, like he traveled. There's like an error and then he comes back. There's a whole series of stories where we hear about his birth, we hear about that, but then he goes away for a bit. And when he comes back and he's reintroduced, he's older. And at this time he was learning meditation. Fact check me.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. But I was on the same mental path because I was thinking about when he taught the disciples how to be fishermen and he went away to the mountain and then came back and he was walking on water.
Look.
That's when Jesus walked on water.
Yeah.
The disciples were out there trying to fish and they were going through that storm.
He taught them. Yeah.
They went out to be fishermen and literally they went into the ocean and they were fishing and a huge storm came, right? And Jesus was not with them. So they're like, oh my God, like, Jesus, how you gonna leave us out here like this? You know, like, where you at? And Jesus was in the mountains praying. And that's when he first walked on water and was like, I'm with you. Like, don't worry about the storm that's around you.
That's crazy. It's like he astral projected to them for a second. He was astral projecting to them, like, have faith, get grounded.
Like, let me see what y'all done.
Check your energy. Don't no chaos.
He's like, look, I'm out here talking to Jesus, talking to God, and all I hear is this commotion about. He's like, let me come. What y'all doing?
That's
y'all
crazy.
Panicking in the midst of another storm.
Right,
I thought I told y'all about this.
Yeah, let's go.
So,
I love it.
And that's the ending of my word for today.
I love it. I'm good. I think that we've given the people enough. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for you to come sit up here with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Again, I look forward to anytime that you want to platform. You already got your own, but any way that I could support you, because I feel like your voice, your delivery, your thought process, your experience, we need. And if you have a friend that is
likewise,
yes,
you
like boost your friends up that speak like this, because we need more voices. If you hear what we talking about, encourage your friends. Bring them on.
Y'all go make sure to get the next issue of We Are Jersey magazine because Karma is in it, y'all. Make sure to order y'all pre-orders.
Damn.
I wrote her article.
We haven't even talked about any of like our personal successes or anything, but it's okay. We don't need because y'all gonna see.
We're humble. Even if you don't see it, I don't even want y'all to see it because y'all might be hating.
And that don't even matter. It don't even matter if you are.
Yeah.
Time management. Don't nobody got time for that.
Love your friends.
Love y'all.
Love yourself. Bye, y'all. Oh. That did work. Bye, y'all.